And good evening, good evening all. Welcome back to another live and exclusive stream to YouTube. I am your host, Swishbone, for the remainder of the evening. Now, for those of you who have never been here before, this channel is usually where we take games blind for the first time, give plenty of bad jokes, reaction and banter in the chat box over in that direction. But this is part of the ongoing series where I wind the clock all the way back to the early 2000s when I was at university and this game was my jam. Did I care about my lectures on my dissertation? No, all I cared about was driving. So yes, we are here to play Gran Turismo 4 live and exclusive, so get your comments in the chat box. Those of you who've been here before, not only watching me do this, but all the Shin Megami Tensei and Danganronpa games, all the Persona games. Maybe the really weird streams like Doki Doki Literature Club and Song of Memories, all the classic streams like Final Fantasy 7 and Forza 4. A colossal welcome back to all of you. Without you people, old and new, the channel would be active, but nowhere near as interactive or as reactive. So get your comments over there one more time. Exatail already jumping in saying hi. Good evening to you. And the results of the poll told me I had to cheat. You want to see me take on the Formula Gran Turismo tournament? So, while I was off screen, I went and did it. Here it is. This is our new car, the Formula Gran Turismo. Very much a 2004 era F1 car. And isn't it a beauty? A very unusual mix of the lime green and white, which is actually in a way oddly reminiscent of the Brawn GP livery, which is weird because Brawn didn't enter the grid until 5 years after this game. Maybe Ross Brawn's a big fan. So we will get into this car. This car is absolutely insane. It's amazing. So Extail, thank you very much. I love the fact that you thought I looked amazing in my cosplays. That really makes my evening. Yes, I love Play Expo. It was absolutely awesome. Got a few stories to tell, so I'll get on them during the stream itself. So, the Formula Gran Turismo is very much this game's F1 series. The Formula GT is a 15-race tournament, and this is very much us going long in a championship. This is going to be the next series of streams for about the next 10 episodes, I reckon. We're going to be doing this for quite some time. So these are very much based on the real world F1, and we're going to start by making a few minor adjustments to our settings. There is one massive problem with this car. It's a special prize car. It has no manufacturer. And I can't buy any other tyres. We have to stay on mediums. So these tyres are going to be torn to pieces. Be prepared to watch me go into the pits a lot. We will be pitting many, many times during this race. I can tell you that for absolutely free. I'm going to slightly change my toe angle and my suspension to make it a bit softer, purely because it's an F1 car, has too much downforce and can easily bottom out. That's all I'm doing it for. And a slight change to my gear ratios, make them a little bit longer in order to be able to do that. So yes, Joe, good evening to you. What's up in the chat there? What's up to you too? So going back to Play Expo, Exatail. First of all, I got to meet John Romero one more time, the creator of Doom. That's where you got the picture on my Instagram of me and him together. Now, this is a series, so we are going to qualify. And this is the design that I have won. That's the car. Check it out. Very similar to the Brawn GP in a way, isn't it, Joe? And we're going to go in this view, because it's open wheel, we're going to look like we're doing an actual race here, people. So here we go, we're doing our warm-up lap, and then we've got one flying lap to complete qualifying, and then after that we will be into the race proper. That's right, give me a slipstream, Mr. Purple Sauber-ash driver, and I'll take you up the inside there. So listen to the speed of this car, people, listen to the engine. Get out of my way, you fake McLaren driver, you. You're not Lando Norris or Oscar Piastri. Get out of my way. Whoa, lost control. Yeah, there we go, people. Well, that's a good start, isn't it? That's a really good start. I've completely shredded my tyres. There goes the Ferraris. Luckily, there's one advantage. This is practice and qualifying. I can spin out as much as I like. So that's good. Right, I'm going to wall ride this. I want to get past him. Yes, I will take a draft off you. Thank you very much. Oh, gone too deep. Doesn't matter, I'll get away with it. Yes, so it's all inspired off the real F1 liveries, absolutely. But yeah, there is an interesting little caveat to Play Expo, by the way. On the stage during the event, they had multiple times that people could go up and play games on stage. And I went and played one game called Screen Cheat. Basically a 4-player Nintendo Switch offline co-op deathmatch game, where the idea was to look at your opponent's screens. Cue me looking at everyone else's screens rather than my own and getting shot a lot. However, later on, I went and tried a second challenge. On a game I wasn't expecting to be the mode it was. Does anyone remember a game called Super Monkey Ball? Where you control a monkey inside a Zorb ball. Well, it turns out, on the PlayStation 2, that game had a Mario Kart mode. So I entered it, not expecting very much to happen. In a miracle science will never be able to explain, I somehow won. Didn't just finish the course, didn't just complete it, I actually won. Don't ask me how, I don't care. So there we are, we've qualified, and that now puts us right to the top of the board. And we're ahead of the Jordan by the looks of it. So with that in mind, let's hit the track. So we're starting on pole. This car, for some strange reason, doesn't have the best acceleration out the blocks, unfortunately. Oh, that wasn't too bad actually. Kept at 18,000 revs, and that got us into a good position. Oh, I'm being pushed into the wall by Ralf Schumacher. Or Heinz-Harald Frentzen, or Giorgio Pantano, or... Who else was driving around this time for Jordan? Guy who came third at Indianapolis in 2005. Portuguese driver, I should know his name, because I actually once called out Ted Kravitz for not saying him on F1 one time. There ain't Karthikeyan, Christian Albers maybe, all those drivers. Unfortunately, XTL, it was purely bragging rights. It wasn't an actual open tournament, sadly. The tournaments they had were weird. They were using a system called an Evercade, which is kind of like a Raspberry Pi, only it felt a lot hotter to touch in your hand. And they were playing games like Sensible Soccer, you know, like old 1990s Amiga games. Very, very weird, to say the least. So I didn't win anything apart from the fact that I beat everybody else dressed as a cute idol, which was probably the ultimate embarrassment for them when you think about it. I got to be all shiny and bright on stage, like the performer I was trying to be. But yes, I say Play Expo's a good laugh actually, although I will say there wasn't as much cosplay as I'd like this year. It seems that they've gone very hard into the old school gaming style, and there's nothing wrong with that, don't get me wrong, but it's like they didn't have a masquerade, they didn't have a lot of cosplayers there. Bit of a shame in a way, but it was still a lot of fun. On the Saturday, one of my friends cosplayed Vegeta from one of the Dragon Ball animes. That was a very popular one, shall we say. That dude rocked it. Yeah, Exetel, they actually have one in London as well. They do Play Expo all down the country. I think they do one in Glasgow, one in Blackpool, and one in London. So keep an eye out for it. I'm actually tempted to try and get to one of the London ones at some point. It'd be nice to go to a bigger one. The one in Blackpool's great, don't get me wrong, but I'd like to do one of the ones on the road, because the last one I did on the road was Manchester, and that was awesome. But they stopped doing it in Manchester, sadly, which is a shame, because a load of us would go again. So, getting back to the race in question here, I'll be surprised if I can get more than 10 laps on these tyres. I'm expecting 10 laps maximum, but look at the speed we're going here, people. 114, incredibly fast, very fluid. Yeah, we've got this. It just corners like nothing else in the game. You can literally throw it into a corner and it absolutely sticks. I'm not sure when the London one goes about, Exeter. I'll have to do some digging for you when it happened this year. I know that the one in Glasgow was in, I think it was July? Might have been August, so it wouldn't surprise me if it's like around about May time or something like that. They're usually in the months between the likes of MCM and everywhere else. They'll usually fall in between, so they're quite good to go for, because you don't have literally the fixture pile up that you get with other conventions. Max Verstappen simulator. it is feeling a bit like, it is getting a bit like that. That gap is worryingly large, isn't it, Joe? You're not wrong. I mean, speaking of Max Verstappen, though, I'd say kudos to him for winning the Qatar Grand Prix, but massive shout out to Oscar Piastri for bloodying his nose and taking victory in the sprint race for McLaren. That was awesome. And a massive shout out against McLaren this week, and they didn't once finish off the podium, which is a phenomenal result. They did so well. But I will want to say a massive walk of shame to the organisers of that Grand Prix. When you hear that some of the drivers were throwing up due to heat stroke, and a few of them actually had to retire because they physically couldn't make it to the end of the race, or they needed help out of the cars at the end, there has to be a lot of questions asked on driver safety. Mainly because the last time I know of anybody who passed out at the wheel in F1, it was Ayrton Senna at the Tamburello curve at Imola in 1994. And F1 fans will always remember that as one of the darkest days in the sport. They seriously need a massive wake-up call. The FIA, the teams, everybody. Because quite frankly, that is unacceptable. But as you say, Oscar is very much amazing, an ice-cold rookie. Mark Webber's got him really trained well, and the kid has got a massive future ahead of him. Him and Lando, if that car carries on developing at the rate it is, and they go into next season with a car anywhere near as competitive as this year's, you might well see two of the youngest drivers battling for the championship in a very long time, and that would be incredibly welcome. Well, yeah, so this part of the stream is where we just got to sit back and relax. We are in control, we are in command, and we're rocking up the miles in what has to be one of the most ridiculous machines I've ever driven. It is literally like eating corners for breakfast. The only thing that goes around corners faster than this is electricity, I think. And even then, I need superconductive copper wiring. Well, but of course, because it's got a lot of power, it can spin out. So it's one of those cars. There is a very, very fine limit, and when you go over it, you are out. Yes, the McLaren lineup's getting quite scary for the top of the field, isn't it? If they carry on developing the way they do, it's going to be insane. Ah, yes, the Mercedes Turn 1 incident, aka Lewis Hamilton, is back. That was a move that really should have been backed out of 20 metres earlier than it was. And, well, at least he was saved having to worry about heat stroke in the race. He's got that for him at least. But, yeah, that wasn't the best performance from Lewis. It's quite clear that he felt that he was massively compromised starting on the option tyres, and due to being on the softest compound, he was always going to need to pit early, so he was just trying to throw his cards to the wolves and go for it. He gambled all in at the poker table, and it very much went against him. Shame, but at least he's managed to piece it out by sorting things out afterwards. Meanwhile, good evening, Alistair Jack. Just seen you jump into the chat there. How are you doing, mate? Absolutely awesome. And you're not the only one who thought of Spain 2016, Joe. On the Channel 4 commentary, because I had to watch the highlights due to the convention, that was the first thing that I think it was either Jolyon Palmer or Mark Webber said. Although I actually want to do a massive reject of the race to the Channel 4 commentary team. Jolyon Palmer said that Oscar Piastri got McLaren's first victory in nearly a decade. I guess Daniel Ricciardo has been deleted now that he's driving for AlphaTauri, hasn't he? They've forgotten his win at fucking Monza. The imbeciles. And yes, Alistair Jack, in case you're wondering how we're driving so fast, it's because we're in the Formula Gran Turismo. We're basically in Formula 1 machinery. And the only weakness with this car is you can't change the tyres. Otherwise, it would be absolutely broken. In fact, actually, speaking of McLaren again, you mentioned how the lineup of McLaren's getting scary, Joe. What about their pit mechanics? A pit stop at 1.8 seconds time. That's unbelievable. Changed 4 tyres in that length of time. I think the best my garage can do is 1.8 hours. So that's the guy who doesn't drive or have a car. Yeah, we're very much Sonic the Hedgehog mode, Arista Jack. You're not wrong. We gotta go, gotta go fast. Despite that half spin, we're still miles faster than the field. We are absolutely eating this course for breakfast. So you have the confidence, apart from that flick chicane in the middle of the back end of the course, you have the confidence to just literally throw the car in and it will stick. I mean, look at that. I was at 160 miles an hour at the end of that hairpin. That's ridiculous. Although I'm concerned about that front right tyre. That front right tyre is getting very, very worn. Yeah, I made sure I lifted that time. I thought I'm going to lift, and it worked. I got much better grip. Yes, Red Bull have competition in the pits, and they have competition on the track as well. It's nice to see. They've had it far too easy this season, although Sergio Perez has not made it easy for them. And there's an open secret at the moment that apparently Red Bull want Lando Norris to replace Checo. They're going to need a very hefty checkbook to make that happen. Yes, I did that pun. You're welcome. No, I apologise for nothing. It's a beautiful sounding engine. The old V8 V10s. When the cars actually sounded like cars, unlike vacuum cleaners like they do these days. Not that there's anything wrong with the modern F1, but I do miss these really piercing engines. They had such amazing presence on the road. In 2011, I watched Jenson Button drive a McLaren F1 car down Deansgate in Manchester, and the sound as it bounced off the buildings was insane. You just heard it like randomly dumping huge wads of petrol into the exhaust, and it just going like it was shooting from the hip when it was changing gear. Absolutely extraordinary. Right, end of this lap, we're going into the pits. Yeah, you can definitely see the understeer now, how I'm struggling to turn in on the right hand side of the car. That front right tyre has pretty much died. Because of the style of driving I have is very much I lean on the tyres, so I put a lot through the tyre when I go through high speed corners. My driving style is to maintain speed, which is a good thing in an F1 car, except it tears your tyres apart. We're going to do a much longer lift here. Aim to drill that first apex and then clip the inside, and that's good. As to why the AI is so slow, I have absolutely no idea. I really don't know. They started out ultra competitive, didn't they, at first, but then once I was past them, that was it. Oh, ouch. Beep, 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 beep. We're not refueling. Actually, no, I'm going to put a tiny amount of fuel in. A tiny amount. Yeah, see, we're pretty much on a half tank, so let's just make absolutely sure. The idea being a little extra on top. This game doesn't simulate weight in your fuel, doesn't simulate it. So there's no point running as light as possible, but you can save a lot of time in the pits. Now we're easily going to retain our lead. We're going to come out at least, I'd say 10 seconds clear of the field, which is brilliant considering we've already had a pit stop. So we are way in from. So it reminds you of the Force India in the 2010s, Joe. I actually think it's more like the Brawn. I mean, I'll tell you what I'll do. When we next go down the main straight, I'll switch to external camera and show it off properly. Because you joined the stream late, so you didn't see it spinning round on the microwave plate. Why do Gran Turismo cars do that, by the way? Why do they always spin around like they're in a microwave? I've never understood that. It's like, here's your car. Bing! It's ready. Nope, wrong button. Yeah, so I think it's more like the Brawn, you know, with like the white and the green two-tone. And if you see here, that's what it reminds me of. Let's devour that corner, because that's what we're supposed to do. They're probably going to do one less pit stop than me, but that's fine. Because I can easily manage like the 10 laps and just make up the time on the tracks. I'm so much quicker than them. I could probably go 2 seconds a lap slower and not have to pit, but the problem is I'd be faster doing the pit stop. In fact, they just all pitted now, they've all pitted in. So the Ferrari is now in second place thanks to its pit stop strategy. A little bit of tyre squeal there, but nothing too serious. And crazily, we're dangerously close to lapping the field. That's extraordinary. See, they've literally all just come out of the pits. Now you can see them all up ahead of me. The chances are that by the second hairpin I've caught a few of them up, possibly even passed them all. And we're not even at lap 15. We're not even a quarter race distance. God, look how much faster I was through that corner then. That was like LMP1 versus LMP2. And they weren't even close to my speed. Out of my way. That was a risky pass, but I made it work. And there we are, that's a lap on the field already. We've lapped the field in less than a quarter race distance. That's ridiculous. That's absolutely silly. I am now officially over a minute faster than the field. In terms of pure domination, I'm going to shatter Damon Hill's record of lapping the field twice. In terms of the actual time in front, I might even challenge Jackie Stewart's legendary victory at the Nürburgring. Meanwhile, Nicholas Hufnagel saying, "Yo, what's good, yo? All's good here. How are you doing, mate? Good evening to you. Welcome to the stream. First race of the Formula Gran Turismo tournament. This will be the next 8 to 9 episodes of the series, I think. So get comfortable, people. We'll be done by Christmas, possibly. That's literally what's going to happen here, unless we do a couple of endurance streams, actually. A 111.9. Holy cow, that's fast. That is speed. It's like, no, you can't go to below 1 minute 12 when the rest of the field are doing 1 minute 18. It's not fair. Formula Gran Turismo go, Little kiss of the wall there will be okay. Tiny lift and then replant the power in the middle of the apex. Fantastic. Ride that bump so you don't lose all your grip. 155 miles an hour. Eat the apex like it doesn't exist. And away we go. As I say, I'm amazed at how lacking in pace the AI are. They are so slow. Because bear in mind that we can't upgrade this car at all. The only way you can make it like any way different on your A-spec points is to give yourself weight handicaps and make it harder. I'm actually amazed at how well this is going. I have actually heard that someone won this championship in the Mazda 787B. They somehow made a Le Mans car quick enough to beat the F1 machines, and that's extraordinary talent. That's a level of skill I'm nowhere near. If you come here looking for expert strategies on playing this game, you're totally in the wrong place. Yeah, why did the AI cars always do that on Gran Turismo? It's like on the F1 games as well. I remember playing the F1 games and they used to always ride in a literal train for some reason. I never understood it. They've never quite been able to pace the cars out, if you know what I mean. It's almost like they've not been able to simulate different pace strategies. Never quite figured it. We'll be in the pits at the end of lap 20. Oh, got too greedy on the curb then and very nearly spun out. I caught it, but that could have been riskier. Could have lost me a lot of pace and also damaged my tyres. Now we've got, I'm guessing that's the Sauber in second place, the purple car. Can't think of many other purple cars that ran apart from one BAR on the 555 livery. Like the old Subaru Impreza rally cars in China. They ran it for one practice session, I think. Randy Davidson at the wheel. Of course, I shouldn't be actually mentioning that that brand because technically I'm advertising. But I'm not. I don't do advertising on this channel. You will never see the likes of those stupid shill companies that you see random with other sponsored videos. That won't happen on my channel, ever. Even if I had 1 million subscribers, I wouldn't do that. Silver one, that'll probably be McLaren for this era of the game, Joe. It'll probably be the modern McLaren because they ran the Silver West livery until 2014, really, didn't they? When they went black midway through the season with Jenson Button and Alonso at the wheel. Could also be an early prototype for the Midland F1 team because Jordan changed to Midland for a season, then changed to Spiker. So it could be that one too. I'm trying to think of any other famous silver teams of this era. Because it would have been the late 90s, 2000s inspiration. So it's more than likely the McLaren. Whereas I'm guessing mine's more the Jaguar kind of style, you know, with the green and the white. Even though, as I said before, it looks suspiciously like the Braun GP car from 2009. Or the 2008 Honda, now I think about it. Yeah, the Jordan will be the yellow one, definitely, Joe. Very much inspired by the legendary livery by a certain brand of, yeah. Oh God, yes, yes, Exetail. You're not wrong. Those two particular ones. You know, there's the one that I used to always see was those really bad earbuds by some company called Con something. A lot of people said yes, they are a con because they're just bassy and buzzy and don't work. As I say, that there's those ones. There's a new one doing the rounds, which is rather funny because there's a meal like protein supplement drink that started turning up called Soylent, which is rather hilarious because in the 1970s, 80s, there was a Charlton Heston sci-fi movie called Soylent Green about a company called Soylent who were turning people into food. We've literally been entered a real-life sci-fi dystopia, people. It's actually come to pass. But yes, that particular VPN company and that, yes, shaving brand, they turn up a lot. There was also that really bad one, which was designed at another shaving brand, which I shudder at the name of it, actually. It sounds so bad. And you used to always see them turning up, and you're like, really? I'm here to watch a video about, you know, the latest fate in gaming, and I'm being told that I need to go and, like, get some new type of razors that are specially designed for my private parts. I'm like, what are you trying to say about me, game? Yes, I do shave when it comes to cosplay. But I don't need shaving razors for that particular part of the anatomy. Thank you very much. Well, let's get the fuel in. Check out the wonderfully high-res model of our mechanic there, and that wonderfully high-res stop sign. That's totally not a random JPEG that is slapped in the game, is it, people? Still, I like the fact that it has the detail of turning around and having a different set of wording on the back of it. They've actually managed to make it upscale quite well. So you keep an eye on the background, by the way, people, for all the advertising liveries, because there's some surprising companies that turn up in the advertising, as we saw when we did the New York race that time. Although I said that, with the speed this car's going at, I'm not sure if you'll see all the advertising. It's like we need to advertise. Boom! It's gone. We're going to be on screen and boom! That's literally what it's like at the moment. Yeah, here comes our advertising. Oh, there it goes. Come on, kids, pay attention. It's boom! Oh, never mind. So outlap pace looks pretty decent. 124, moderate, it'll do. It's screwed the outer layer of our tyres down, so we should now have more grip to play with, which is a good thing. Right up to the edge of the wall then, that was all out attack. Completely needless given the gap I've got on the field, but it's my game. I'll do it my way. So Jordan rocking second place at the moment. Eddie will be happy at that one. So this really tests your concentration, this race mode, because you're going so fast and completing laps so quickly. You're having to really focus on like getting through it as best as you can. But it literally is going by so rapidly that you're having to keep your focus, because we're not too far away from half distance already. We are absolutely smashing it. Very nice exit speed then. Kiss the apex, kiss the wall. Yep, this is good. This is a pretty damn hot lap, this. Such a shame you can't put hard tyre rubber on this and just go much longer. It's amazing to drive. Boom, new fastest lap, 1:11.855. Fantastic. Oh, damn it. Bugger. I'm having a chance to go even quicker then, but never mind. It's cool. Oh, I still went faster anyway. Holy hell. 1:11.735. Okay, this car's suddenly found a low more pace than usual. Not that I'm complaining, this is awesome. Yep, that'll do. Just felt the edge of the grip going, but I held it long enough to get it all back. Yes, excellent. In terms of a stint, this is pretty good. Oh, whoa, no, get back in line. Get back in a straight line, car. You've had your fun. Let's time to rein it in for a bit, shall we? Let's keep your tyres alive. Yeah, not bad considering I had an half spin to still do a 1:12. And for some strange reason, the tyres are all of a sudden hanging on quite well. That's interesting. I'm not sure what's different. I've not done much different in my driving style there. If anything, I've been driving faster and harder, so that just doesn't make sense to me. High speed, high performance. That's all we can do. Just got to keep on going. For the next F1 we're going to triple header, is it? We've got what? USA, Mexico, Brazil. Is that the order we're doing? That'll be pretty awesome actually, because I've got the old F1 package, so I'll be able to watch those races as long as I'm not doing anything too crazy. And I think we've got another sprint race, either at Brazil or Mexico, and I got the feeling it's going to be Brazil. Brazil's been quite decent for his sprint races, to be fair. Oh wow, we went through at full speed then, 197 miles an hour. Now that's going like hell, people. Oh, so there's one at Kota as well, is there? Wow, so we've got 2 more sprint races. That's so cool. Kota as a sprint race is going to be very interesting. The US Grand Prix having a sprint race. That'll be a fascinating one. Though I will say, I want to do a massive bit of a commiserations in many ways. F1's world champion this season actually won it in the sprint. Didn't win it in an actual Grand Prix. I think that's the first time that's ever happened. They've not won it as a result of a Grand Prix, which is like quite silly when you think about it. Excellent, we can get one more lap and then we will be in the pits. We are being consistent in our lap times, we are being consistent in our tyre wear. We're doing everything we can to keep moving the right way. I don't know what the next race in this championship is. Obviously the first round's here at Tokyo on the Route 246, but we're probably going to have time for one more race after this with any luck, because at the moment we're projected to finish this in just under an hour and a half, which is perfect. And that's exactly what we want. We want to be in a position where we're finishing on time, shall we say. Because looking at this now, we're on our 30th lap already. This is insane. It's so quick. It's like, I have places to be. I'm not taking this race slow. I want out of here. If it's at Fuji Super Speedway, that could be hilarious. We're doing IndyCar, literally. That could be a lot of fun. No idea how long the tyres will last there though. High speed on an oval. Barely any braking. Good lord. And how many laps is it going to be? Oh, actually, there's a part. I forgot to announce it, didn't I? I forgot to give us a chance to do our. I forgot to say the little competition for your guesses, people. I forgot to do it. Right, okay, I'll tell you what. I'm going to give you all until lap. Let's say lap 35. Am I going to get any faster for my fastest lap? Do you think I can go any quicker than 1:11.7.35? If I happen to do it before you guess, then you all win anyway by default. So, can I beat my fastest lap? That's what we'll go for. And for the next race, you'll be able to tell me the whole race time and everything else. But we'll do it on the next race. I knew there was something I forgot to do. I feel bad now. I apologise. You're loads of fun doing that. Oh, that's a tough target. A 1:11.5. Wow, that's a tough one. That's going to be a difficult one to hit, that. That's going to require the perfect lap. But I like it. I like the challenge. That's a good target time to aim for. A 1:11.5. Bring the tyres in gently. I'm just going to take a quick slug of coffee, actually. Really wasn't drinkable. Ugh. Yeah. I'd let that go cold. And I paid the price for that. Ugh. Okay. Never mind, it's not going to kill me. What doesn't kill you only makes you stronger. Let's keep going. Yeah, that's not going to help. It's not going to be this lap, I can tell you that for free. So 1:12.1, so we need to find 6/10. You're not wrong, Joe, actually. Going back to the slower cars is going to be, well, interesting, actually. It's going to be a real challenge. Boom! A 1:11.142. We have shattered the record we set. So now the big question. Can we get into the 110s? Is that possible? That was a lap and a half. The tyres are going to hate me, but I don't care. We just found more than half a second in one lap. A magic lap was found. Oh, that's not going to help. Not this time. A little bit of shock in the chat there, Joe. Are you surprised by that one? Because I sure was. Despite the half spin, still in the 112s, that's not bad at all, it's pretty fast. Well, that didn't work out very well. Went very wide then for no reason. In fact, my car has started to understeer, that's a problem. We'll just have to ride it as best as we can and hope for the best. clipping the inside curb there was not a good idea. It spat the car very wide indeed, kissed the wall, got away with it. We are making a lot of time up here. We are going very, very fast indeed. Yep, again, nearly half spin, still in the 112. Time is great. Boom! 1:10.861. Thank you very much. So can I beat my lap time of 1:11.7? Yes, I can do it with absolute ease. With 2 absolute mega laps from nowhere, which were incredible. Oh, not a good time to be in traffic. Terrible time to hit traffic. Unless you hit it out of the way like that. Someone's just gone into the pits by the looks of it. Ironically, very nearly, well, I might well have set a new fastest lap then, had it not been for the traffic. But now is the time to rein it in because we are getting into our pit stop window. Whoa, very, very twitchy on the back end then. The car was like, I've got no more to give you. Oh, no, 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 no. Back in line, back in line. You've got 2 more laps and then you have a fresh pair of boots, car. On top of your engine as well with a bit more fuel. I doubt it's. I mean, like this game came out in 2005. Spike, I don't think they'd entered the sport at that point. So it's probably not Spiker. It might well be the Orange Arrows. Actually, now I think about it, from 2001 that Jos the Boss Verstappen drove, along with what's he called, Brazilian driver, not Antonio Pizzonia. There's another driver who drove alongside him who was Brazilian. I think it might be the Orange Arrows. I think that's what it's a reference to. Yeah, we are way in front here, people. We are leaving the opposition for dead. They don't know what they're doing. They aren't even close. We're doing 1 minute 12. We're miles faster than the field. This is a race that I can take my foot off the gas and rest out now if I wanted to. Having gone into the 110s and shattered the lap record. Well, at least on my game anyway. As we continue to drive around, we're into the final third of the race. We're just under 50 minutes gone, and everything is plain sailing for now. We're just going to try and bring this car home, bring it home. 2002, yeah, I wasn't sure what last year it was that they raced. I know that Heinz-Harald Frentzen drove for them on a race-by-race contract basis and didn't actually get paid. And basically Jos Verstappen ordered winding-up orders when they didn't pay his wages. And I think Pedro Diniz was sued by Arrows because he went to Sauber. And they lost the case, so they had to pay Pedro Diniz compensation and all his legal fees. And also they had a company called Morgan Grenfell who were straitjacketing the finances. One interesting alternate piece of history though. Arrows were very, very close to being bought out by Red Bull. But a certain event in America in the year 2001 caused huge economic jitters for quite a long time afterwards. A certain event which was tragically only just over 22 years ago. I don't want to say which event it is, but it should be pretty obvious. Needless to say, that was the deal. An alternate piece of what might have been had the financial clout of Red Bull bought Arrows back in 2002. What that could have done for that team is astronomical. Who knows what could have happened? But alas, it was not to be. Because at the time, Red Bull sponsored quite a lot of the drivers that went through the Arrows, and then later into the Minardi driver development programs. That's where you had the likes of Robert Doornbos, you had the likes of Patrick Frieschacker, and all that lot. You had all those drivers were backed by Red Bull initially, but oddly none of them were good enough to make it to the actual teams once they were on the grid themselves. So that's why we saw instead the likes of Sebastian Vettel, Daniel Ricciardo, Max Verstappen. So they've had quite a few success stories, haven't they? Yes, for those of you who haven't guessed, aside from video games, my passion is motorsport, particularly Formula 1. And yet, oddly enough, I don't play the Formula 1 games because I don't like the way they've been coded. I don't like the way they've been made since the year 2012, to be honest. I did once after the 2016 game and I just didn't like it. I understand that now that EA have the ownership thanks to buying out Codemasters, things have got even weirder with like the use of things like Bitcoin currency and things like that, and it's just like, really? Are you that out of ideas? And the answer is yes, they are. This has been a good start to the championship. We've done pretty well. We're on our way. I don't think we're going to be getting close to our fastest lap time now because we are in the wind down for this race. We are far, far ahead, and what we want to do now is avoid any big mistakes. We don't want to mess up our pit stop strategy. We're comfortably in front. We're dominating the championship because it's the first race, so of course we are. And then from there, we're going to head on to the second round and see just how we do. go, full tilt, and we went too wide, hit the curb, managed to catch the car though, so all is okay. So this is a joy to drive, this car. This is absolutely amazing. This is very much a case of, what if we take any of the rules and just set them on fire? And it's just incredible. Oh god, an F1 race at City Diaria. Oh wow. Oh god, that'd be hilarious. That would be insane. For those of you who aren't aware, City Diaria is one of the rally stages in this game. It's all tarmac, and it is the narrowest Italian backstreet road race ever. Taking an F1 car there would be absolute insanity. It'd be hilarious fun, but my god, it would be mad. It would be absolutely chaotic beyond any form of reason. You would be asking for what happened at Mugello in 2020 and more. You would be asking for the biggest thing since Spa in 1998 in terms of accidents. It would be mad, 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 mad. The poor cobblestones would never recover. The Roman road would be literally eviscerated. Oops, no, that's not going to work. A bit too wide there. Nope, that's not going to work either. I mean, if I wanted to set the lap record on fire, I'd just wall ride going into that corner there, but I don't see the point. There's no need to, we're already fast enough. We've already set the record book ablaze, why make it more crazy? Oh, I turned too early then, that was a rubbish corner. That was really bad. I turned in too early. And there's the field once again. We're going to do one more pit stop and then we will be at the end of this race in terms of the final stint. And this has been an absolute demolition. The opposition haven't come close. I literally have been in a totally different league to the AI. And so I'm not running on easy or beginner or anything like that. I'm just literally playing the game as it is, out of the box. And it has to be said that the AI have just not turned up to the race at all today. Oops, turned too early. Once again, we've made that same mistake twice now. Yeah, 150 is just too much speed through that. 170 through there. Jeez, I don't know how I did that. Thanks to a draft, we very nearly broke our record. See, talk about them not turning up. I'm literally driving rings around them. Oh, I'm in sorts of bother here. And once again, now I need to take it a little bit slower. My tyres are dying. The car's like, I can't take much more of this, Captain. And the car would be correct. A bit too greedy on the inside curb there, but it's fine. One more lap and then we will pit our tyres for the final time and we will go on a last lap blitz, and we are well clear of the time I expected in terms of finishing this race. This is awesome. It's better to not pit as often, they say. You'll save time with not having to pit, they say. I say I go far faster when I'm flat out. So playing PS2 games on a PC via upscaling is just a totally new world of playing games. All the great things you remember from your college years or your childhood, just remastered with no extra bits, no extra fluff, no DLC, no online DRM. Just you, the game, and great times. So into the box we go. We're going to change our tyres for the last time. And we'll refuel as well. Yeah, we can probably go to just over 40. I'll put 45 in just to be sure, in case of heightened fuel consumption. $165 miles covered so far, people. That's how far we've gone. I think the car ahead of us is the one that's in second place. So chances are we'll lap it again, because of course we will. In fact, I think he's going into the pits, maybe. Yeah, he has. He's gone into the pit lane. So, smell you later, bugger. Goodbye. I should feel sorry for them. I don't, but I should. I should be sorry that they're not able to keep up. I should be taking pity on them and doing something to handicap my race, but nah, I've earned the right to dominate. I'm going to dominate. So I can't see us breaking that time that we've got, a 1:10.8, but you never know. Stranger things have and can happen on this stream. I get the feeling that this race, by the way, you know, with the way the road is and the high barriers around the side of it, I think it's meant to be a replica of Long Beach as part of the IndyCar Championship, which would make sense because you've got both F1 and IndyCars in the tracks in the game. So it's almost like a hybrid Super Series of both. But it'd be interesting if they ever did that in F1 and IndyCar. Because of the different ways the cars are designed, it'd be interesting to see how they did it, a difference between the road courses and the ovals. Of course, IndyCar's not as fast as it used to be now, is it? The cars aren't quite the monsters they were back in the 90s. When you had the likes of Alan Hall Jr. and Bobby Rahal and Mark Blundell and all the other legends, Jacques Villeneuve and, oh god, what's his name, the Italian? Not Alex Rossi, but someone like that. One who drove for Williams in '99. Went on to become a hand cycling champion when he lost both his legs, became a Paralympian, which is incredible. Zanardi, that's it. Zanardi, Alex Zanardi, that's what I was thinking of. I am too much of a motorsport anorak, aren't I, people? I know too much. I'm too much of a gearhead, as they call it in the States. Well, no, that would have been a retirement, but we got away with it. Because this is Gran Turismo, and no such thing happens. You can delete that from your memories, people. That definitely did not happen and won't be available to replay as many times as you like on the live stream version. Oh, no. Changing tack for a while, one thing I do want to briefly discuss is the rumoured games for the PS Plus Extra this month. and there's some very strange inclusions. As it's Halloween season, they've included a horror game, Alien Isolation. A bit old, but still a bit of a classic. But the one that gets me is Elite Dangerous has been included. That's a game that came out 8 years ago. Why are games that old being considered for slots in the extra catalogue? I'm not saying it's a bad game, but it's hardly reflexive of the uplifting cost for PS Plus, is it? We're bringing high quality games to PS Plus and they bring games over that are 8 years old. There's a paradox there, to say the least, when Microsoft are putting games at day one from third parties, brand new releases. It looks a bit poor by comparison. Just like that corner then, that was terrible. We're reversing, people, yep. I've even had time to crash, burn and reverse. I was so busy talking about an irrelevant topic, I had a crash. Feels weird the car's like started understeering again, but I think it's because I've had the accidents, the tyres have gone a little wayward. And I had the spin, which has probably taken more wear out of them, so let's just try bringing the car home, shall we, people? Let's finish with a whimper. Yeah, very slow that one. Very, very slow indeed. 10 seconds off my best pace. That's hilariously awful. And yeah, it's not going to make a difference because we're so far in front. I think they'd have to pass me at least 3 times for me to be worried. Only 3 more laps to go, people. 3 circuits and then we are home free. And we can take a quick breather, save our game, and then go into the next race because we'll have time to easily do it. Turn too early again. But luckily one more time, plenty of grip, so it's all good. Oh, here we go. We might yet have a chance to lap the field one more time, people. We might just have the pace to get another lap on the field. Just to totally rub in their faces into the mound of dope. These guys are totally out of their league against me. You may intimidate most Gran Turismo drivers, but you are out of your class against me. Not even close. Yes, I've caught them at the point I don't like catching traffic. Time to be brave. That's fine, we'll go walk wide around the ashes. And on to the final lap, people. Can we lap the current second place and finish ridiculously far in front? We're going to go for it. But our tyres might prevent it. We might just run out of lap space, I'm afraid. He might be spared the ignominy. But there is still time. Our fuel is low, our grip is low, our laps are running out, and we are on the ragged edge. But we're not stopping, people. We're going long, we're going hard. Oh, this is going to be tight. He might just get away with this. Oh, will he? Here we go. Oh, he just gets away with it. Look at that. They were 5 laps behind. Apart from second place, who was 4 laps down. They finished 5 laps behind. By my maths, that's nearly 6 minutes adrift. That is a crushing defeat. That's domination to a whole new level. So we're going to very quickly exit. Yep, start here when we return. Thank you very much. That's exactly what I want to do. Because now we're going to get a quick save. Yep, see there how it says you are currently racing in the Formula GT Championship? That means that we are very much in a championship. It's saved our progress. So let's just give you an idea of our car. Look at it in its garage. Doesn't it look beautiful? 73.8%. That's all the completion got us. It got us nothing. So do we wish to continue to race 2? Of course we do. Of course we wish to continue to race 2. So the question is, where are we going to next? Our next race is at... It's the Twin Ring Super Speedway, and we have 127 laps. Okay, people. Here is your chance. I'm going to give you until lap 10. So you got 10 laps. Just 10. And I want you to tell me what you think my fastest lap time is going to be, how long the race time is going to be, and how many pit stops I'm going to do. That is your challenge. Get your comments in there anytime you like, because we have 10 laps to do it. Once we're at the end of lap 10, at that point the voting will be locked down. So again, fastest lap, how many pit stops, and how long the race is going to take. Get your comments in there, people. Let's go, 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 go. We're starting at the very back because we're going to try and make it hard for ourselves. Now this is where we may struggle, as this is going to be much more like an actual race. Nice move around the outside, beautifully done. going to be a spectator and cheer everyone on, eh? Well, there's plenty of time for people to decide, Exeter. Plenty of time indeed. We're taking the lead. How long can we stay there? That's the question. And how long will these tyres last? That's the big one. I've no idea how long the tyres are going to last. Because we're only 2 seconds in the lead. This is where it's going to be tricky. So even the lap at 29.5, well, we've already smashed that, Joe. We've already smashed that as our best lap, but 50 minutes of 8 stops. That's interesting. Yeah, never mind. I was going to say, I thought you're absolutely wrong. The thing is, I'm not getting away from them. I am actually not getting away. This is going to be a hard race. I am not getting away from them. Oh, and that's not going to help. Kissing the outside wall. One, two. Yeah, I'm literally getting maybe half a second at best on the opposition. So this is going to be tough. This could well be one of those races where it's all about drafting at the end. But we'll see as the lap times continue to come in. Yeah, I've started to pull a little bit of a gap. Only a little though. And again, a lot of it's going to depend on the actual pit windows. How long we can do. That's not going to help. That little slide down. If I can manage to 15 laps, that's going to be I reckon that's going to be a bit too shallow. 18 laps maybe. I doubt we'll get to 20. I can't see that. Right, 15 laps will be about 8 stops, so it's a challenge to say the least. But with them all in a pack now, that could actually play to my advantage. Because they all start battling each other. I might be able to just get the hammer down. Yeah, the gap's started to open up a little bit, I think. If they carry on battling each other, this gives me a real chance. Ooh, that was close. I let go of the turning circle at just the wrong time then. Like, this is a race you can probably win in the Le Mans car quite easily, because your lap times, while they won't be as fast as the F1s, super hard tyres will mean you'll be able to stop like 2, maybe 3 times, and you make all the time back up. My Nissan RC92 would destroy this race. Absolutely demolish it. I've not seen the new Forza Motorsport, but I've heard quite a lot of chatter about it on GT Planet. I've been keeping an eye on the chatter there. Seeing the war between fans has been quite funny, to say the least. I've been keeping my nose clean of it. I've not been saying much, but it's been interesting to see how everyone's talking about the differences in the game designs. But apparently it's not that brilliant. Interestingly, they've already pitted. Oh wow, they're already in the pits. This is fascinating. If I can go much longer on the pit stops, this will be an easy victory. I'm shocked. I'm absolutely shocked. I've gone longer than the AI. I've gone way longer than the AI. It's a shame if it's not great. That's a real shame. So I understood they'd done like a complete ground up remake of the game, so it seems a bit bizarre that it's not that brilliant. How many laps can I go to? If I can get to 18, that might be a 6-stop strategy. If I can get to 20, it'll be about the same. If I get to 21, it'll be a 5-stop strategy. Meanwhile, Queen jumping in, Jane, what have you made? You made it, what have you missed? You missed the first race, where I won by 5 laps. Absolutely demolished the machine, the computer. So now we're into the second race of the Formula GT. This is basically Gran Turismo's F1 Championship. Get ready to watch a lot of high-speed racing. This is going to be the next 6 to 8 streams. We're going to be doing this for quite a long time. On this one, we're going to be F1 racing for a long, long time. I've gained a load of time on the computer here because me not stopping yet has really caught them out, because they went in on lap 14. So if that means they go in on lap 28, I'm going to be well in the money on them. My lap times have yet to start dropping, so as long as I don't spin out, I can keep going. Let's say if I can get to the end of the next lap, I'm well in the pound seats. This is a big gamble, but it's working. And I'm literally going pretty much flat out. This is one of the fastest races you can do. This is insane. If I can manage only 6 stops or even less than that, that'd be insane, it'd be extraordinary. I mean, at the moment we're on par to be around about 5 stops possibly. And if that happens, we'll be absolutely cruising to the flag. Yep, now's the time to box. I felt the tyre going on the on the middle edge. But the end of lap 22, that's very, very, very late. That's incredibly late. And I'm also going to gain a little bit of time here because I won't have to put too much fuel in. I'm just going to put a little bit in, just a little bit. So they've just unlapped themselves now. So now they're unlapped. What I have to do is get back up to racing speed. So I've basically got about half a lap in the lead at the moment. But they're going to pit in only a few more laps based on the current form. And now we've got fresh rubber down, we can attack again. And this is where we've got a real chance to just absolutely go to the flag. We started plumb last. We had to overtake all the cars, and since then it's been literally, my foot has been pinned to the floor. You can feel the engine roar. Got thunder in my hands. I'm metal thrashing mad. Yes, that's right, a little bit of anthrax all there. So absolutely caning it, high speed, very much an IndyCar simulation, and thus far this is a lot of fun. It's a very relaxing way of like driving. You just have to constantly think of your line, because even though you think all I'm doing is driving forward, turning left, driving forward, turning left, I'm not. I'm having to aim for a specific point to turn. I'm having to think about how much angle I put on the analog stick. So there's a lot more to this than meets the eye. You think going around in circles is easy. It's actually not that simple at all. It's so monotonous, so repetitive. You really have to get into the zone in order to be able to essentially get out the other side without making too many mistakes. And finding time is almost impossible at the moment. The only way I can find any more time is by drafting. That's literally the only way I can get any faster. My consistency is ridiculous because the car is that planted, the car is that fast. And you see, they're already into the pits again. Lap 27, they're on their second stop. I've barely done my first. I'm going to do nearly half the pit stops they do. I'm going to absolutely demolish this race. Demolish it. Make no mistake about that. In the early laps, when I was literally getting like half a second at best on the field, I was expecting this to be very, very difficult indeed. I was expecting this to be a real challenge because just getting a big enough gap and managing it. But the moment they pitted on lap 14, I was like, you what? You've blinked way too early. Consider this, people, we've been racing for less than 15 minutes and I've done nearly 30 laps. We are on for a very, very fast race here. I agree with you, Joe. Completely agree with you. I do not get what the AI are thinking on this one. I do not understand it. They're just like, they're completely messing it up. They're gifting me a win. Even if I went back to every 20 laps, I'd still be well in credit on them in terms of like pit stops in the bank. Because you'd think with me having my foot to the floor and driving as fast as I am, I'd be the first to blink, but no, not even close. I've been well last to pit, so I've been demonstrably faster. Way better on my tyre wear. Just everything about this has just fallen my way. This is awesome. The only thing ruining it is getting ready to drive. That's the only thing that's ruining it. But alas, I can't do anything about that. Yeah, I attacked the wall and lost a few hundredths of a second. I'm hoping to stop in another 11 laps. If I do that, I'll be well clear of the field. I may even possibly be a pit stop ahead of them if that happens. As in, like, I'll pit when they're on their third stop. That is how you overtake, people. That is how you overtake and set a new fastest lap. No blue flags, no assistance. Just get out of my way. And now they're, interestingly, going to be drafting me. So we've now got our own little chain here, people. Yeah, check it out. The fucker's going to unlap himself. Alright, okay. We're playing by those rules, are we? I don't think so, pal. Get back in the loser lane where you belong. Well, this is absolutely crackers. We are absolutely on it tonight, people. We've got 90 laps to go. So at least 45 minutes. So for all you people out there watching now, thank you very much. Of all the things you could be doing with your evening, you sat here literally watching me drive around in circles. That's literally what's happening right now. The old joke of all motorsport is driving around in circles, and you're all sat there. So thank you very much, all you people. Without you people, these streams will not be possible. So thank you very much. So there's just something meditative about aiming for corners and just like trying to scrub as little speed as possible and just go fast. It's just a real test of your patience, a real test of your application. I mean, if I can do literally lap 22, 20, 44, 66, 88, I'd then be stopping at 110. So we'd easily do it on that few stops, which would be ridiculous. I don't think the tyres would hold up this well, considering the racing mediums. That's the thing that surprised me. Like, the grip has just been absolutely out of this world, and the durability has been far higher than anything I thought. And as I say, Joe, I'm one of these people. I don't mind if the audience is taking it nice and chill. You see a lot of streamers demanding like stuff in the chat and everything else, and I just find it really annoying. Because if people just want to sit back and relax and enjoy it, let them sit back and relax. I've always found it strange when you see some people flexing about, you know, topics of conversation and everything else. Meanwhile, good evening to you, Avian. Just seen you jump in there. How are you doing? You've literally joined me to watch me drive around in circles. We are very deep into the IndyCar simulation. It's the second race of the Formula Gran Turismo series. We are driving an F1 car, and we are here for 127 laps. Yes. And look at that, they're already back in the pits again. Unbelievably, I am going to have stopped twice to their thrice. So I'm going to lap the field again. Avian, I think they need more than the blue shells. They need a lot more than that to stop me. They need a lot more than that. At the moment, I am literally on another planet in terms of speed. And my lap times have been unbelievably consistent. They've been literally like within a tenth every single lap, apart from when I've had drafting going on. But this is the lap where we will be going into the pits, I believe. Unless my tyres have got a lot more grip, which I don't think they will have. And the answer is no, they don't. So we will dive into the box right now. So this might be a shorter than expected stream because there's no way I'm going to have time to do the next race. I'm in the office tomorrow. So I get the feeling we're going to be doing this for a little while longer, and then we'll be probably done with this race around about 10:30 my time. So after that, maybe do a few practice laps and qualify for the next race, and that'll be the end of it. I had this idea that every race would be like an hour and a half, so it'd be bang on 3 hours, but I didn't expect the pace to be so strong on this track. I had no idea. Yes, we are going very quickly indeed. Formula GT go boo. That's kind of interesting, Exeter. Stock of badges of Leon as a cat and mouse Ashley. I mean, is that, interestingly enough, it's ironic. Earlier on today, yesterday, I actually managed to complete my professional run in Resident Evil 4 Remake and got the S Plus rank, which has unlocked the cat ears as an accessory. So that's rather ironic that you just mentioned that there. Interesting idea though. What's with the cat and mouse out of interest? I'm kind of curious by the way. It's still awesome. It sounds so cool. As we all know, Kitty's our bestest, so that makes sense. Oh, that was a bit too much turn then. We drifted. I might be that far ahead, but I'm not Keiichi Sachir, who decides to start drifting the car through the corners because I was too fast. What's cute about Resident Evil 4 Remake is if you have the cat ears and wear Leon's gangster costume, the cat ears are on the hat. So you have like the huge gangster trophy hat, with a white stripe and then a pair of cat ears off the side of it. It's really cute. It's also really helpful because you have infinite ammo for any weapon you want. Fair enough. Yeah, like animals cosplaying the characters, kind of like those ducks you could buy, wasn't it? You see them now and again in game stores, where they've got like ducks dressed as like Claire Redfield or Kratos from God of War. So it's like weird bath toys that are cosplaying as game characters. Yes, we are well in front here, people. We are crushing this race. Crushing it. The opposition simply have no answer. We are flat out and flat broke, to be honest, at least I am. Yep, they're into the pits again. Smell you later, everybody. They must be wondering what I've got on what tyres I've got on my car, because I'm going so much longer into the race than they are when they're pitting. It's ridiculous. I can't believe they're stopping so many times. It's almost like the game's scripted to pit stop after so much percent of the distance has been covered. And if that's the case, then that's just very sloppy AI. If you're giving me a chance to get up to 220 miles an hour, I'm going to take it. Going back to your cosplaying characters, Exeter, I must say that Ashley as a mouse is kind of interesting. It's kind of on point. She makes so many squeaking noises in the original game after all, so it does make sense. Yeah, it's the kind of thing that would make sense actually. I agree, Avian. You know, for the PS2 era, it's the kind of way they would have done it, where there's a scripted time frame for how far they go. Because obviously in Real Motorsport they try and do that as well. They'll set what's known as a pit window. So if you start on the softest tyres and you're like a 60 lap race for instance, they'll say your pit window's from like lap 9 to lap 16, and you're basically going to pit in that particular period unless something crazy happens. And it'll be the same for them, so they'll probably have a period that says, right, okay, it's 127 laps, you need to stop 9 times, say for example, so your window is between laps 12 and 15. That's what I think's happened here. I think they tried to basically simulate pit windows. The problem is, not all the teams run the same one, so it's not a pit window, everyone's just doing the same. In real life, you'd have a team that tried to stop earlier to get a tyre advantage, or they try and make their tyres last long enough so they don't have to stop again. You know, that's where they've got to change the strategy on the fly. If you ever watch F1, you always hear on the radio messages, we're going to go with plan C plus 5, plan C plus 5. And to the audience, that's like, well, what's this, some kind of like mail order catalogue? But no, it's literally them saying, you're meant to be on for 15 laps, we're going to carry on with that, but you need to get to lap 20 instead. So that's the kind of thing you normally see in motorsport. I sound like I actually know what I'm talking about, like I've been in the pits and everything, and I'm not, I'm just an armchair enthusiast. But my understanding is that how it all works from what I've seen in the races live. And speaking of races live, I got a message on my social media today telling me it was 8 years ago today that I was actually at Fuji Speedway for the Friday practice for the World Endurance World Championship. And as for the baseball signs, Avian, that's because we are in Japan, and baseball is a religion in Japan. It's the only country other than America that goes crazy for it. But yeah, baseball signs like you need, yeah, exactly. It's the same kind of thing. You know, same kind of signals that you see people do. Oddly enough, sometimes it's actually a really good thing, like British Sign Language. Knowing some of them can be very useful in crowded places. You know, like in terms of noise and things like that, you can use it as ways to communicate with each other. One, for example, I know is if you do this, you're literally saying the word pop. So everyone uses that as like, do you want a drink? Basically. Rather than just like swigging the hands back like everybody else does. You can use pop. That's one of those, for example. Although my favourite piece of British Sign Language is this. Can anyone guess what that means? One more time. And of course, speaking of hand signals, Michael Schumacher famously did it at one of the Grand Prix in the 1990s, I believe, or the early 2000s, when his radio stopped working. So he used his onboard camera and started waving all the hand signals, basically to say, I can't hear you, the radio's not working. Very, very close, Queen, not jog off. It literally means asshole. That's what that means. I got that from when I was in a pub, and a guy who was deaf did it to some guy who was being a real twat to his wife. And as soon as I saw it, I just looked at him and went, I looked at him, what's that? And he just literally went, and I went, oh. I knew immediately what he meant, because he could lip read. So I'm like, what did that mean? Yes, that's true actually, Joe. Yes, when Kimmy was pointing up at the planes, that's a good one. Yeah, you're not wrong. Ah, so you're happy about that one, Avian? Well, you're very welcome. I'm hoping to take some more classes on British Sign Language, because I think it'd be useful to have as a skill. As someone who often presents to people, it'd be quite nice to be able to do a few little bits of signing to those who are hard of hearing. Obviously, I can't do it on stream while I'm playing a game, but when I'm like in the flesh doing a presentation, it'd be quite nice to be able to include people more on things like that. Inclusivity is very important to me, being neurodivergent, so anything you can do to make things a bit easier for people is always good. Yes, we're on lap 69. Giggity giggity. Yeah, so they're in the pits again by the looks of it. This is ridiculous. I've stopped 3 times compared to them. 3. I'm only going to need to stop at the current projected rate. I'm only going to need to make 2 more stops. I'm going to finish so far ahead in this race. It's going to be absolutely ridiculous. And because we've not got live timing, thanks to the way the ROM is picked up by the system, I've no idea how many laps ahead I am, but I've got to be laps plural, easy. Easily 3 or 4 laps. As I say, I expected this race to be really hard based off the fact that in the opening laps I was getting at best half a second on the field, which is not a lot of time when you think your tyres are going to burn out, but absolutely insane. Exactly, Exetel, you're not wrong. The AI like a conga line is a big problem in racing games, even now on the PS5. Gran Turismo 7 does it. You see them all in a literal line, and it's like you have to. It's what's known as catch the rabbit, because the AI is so poor, it just gets stuck in a line. There's a brilliant video where someone did a video about the AI on Gran Turismo 7, made a custom race of like multi-class cars, and the prototypes would spend 3 laps stuck behind a GT car because they were scripted to not overtake unless at certain points. And it wasn't something that they did as the player. They didn't instruct the computer to not overtake at these points. It's just the way the AI's been coded. And as I say, it's a familiar sight for anyone who plays racing games. You're sat there and you're like, why is everyone always doing exactly the same lap style? Why are they always going at the same speed? It's actually really annoying to watch. Well, that's the way it's been set up, I guess. No, don't try putting me in the wall. Don't do that just because you're losing. Just because you've been lapped for the 9th time. Ah, yes, Exetel. Mario Kart isn't like that. It's too busy screwing the player over by gifting out blue shells all the time. Isn't that right, Avian? Isn't that what happens? Whoops, we've spun. We've lost our grip. That's a bad idea. Yeah, see, flashbacks of that triggered me that much, Avian. I'm blaming me because I was an idiot. It was my fault. That might possibly mess with my pit strategy, actually, that. I've got to be careful. Because I was aiming to come in at lap 88 and then lap 110. I can afford to come in at lap 86 maybe if I'm really pushing with it. Oh, you're not wrong, Axel Tail. Uno Monopoly. Oh dear. Oh, I've blamed Queen many times, Avian. Yes, I have. I have many times. I've also watched her throw you under the bus for it as well. You're both as bad as each other. Absolutely. I don't discriminate on this matter. At least, to be fair, Queen only did it after I'd already run the race and interrupted my celebration dance. Yes, Inkling Go was not happy about being midway through a celebration dance and getting a blue shell up the arse. Yes, Queen, I've not forgotten. I'm not going to. So, as good as mentioning FIFA, Uno and Monopoly is when it comes to the splitting of a family, there's one thing I can think of that splits a family up more than that. The remote control. Oh yeah. Watch the fight over that on a Sunday morning. Or a Saturday morning. You raise a good argument there, Avian. It's a difficult argument to deny, that one. Oh, they're in the pits again. Dear Lord, how many times do they need to change tyres? They're poor mechanics. My mechanics are sat there sipping soda and going, this is easy. And look, those guys are working like bloody dogs. Those poor mechanics. I've got to say, actually, speaking of games that caused arguments, I remember years ago, back in the day on the PlayStation 1, I used to make everyone hate me when it came to playing as Guanung in Tekken 3. It got to the point where I had a particular set of kicks where I could keep an opponent down. And they were like, fucking let me up or I'm going to punch you in the face! And I'm just like, leg sweep, go boo, and just keep them down. I gotta say, Avian, that's quite a decent revenge, that one. Take the remote control grocery shopping. What did she leave it sat on? The shopping channel or something like that. Oh wow, Queen. That would be very early AI changing tyres, it must be said, but I wouldn't put it past them. The most evil thing I've ever seen was when someone posted a screenshot of their mobile phone, or cell phone for those of you in North America, to a group online, and they basically said, I got a random number text me and I couldn't help myself, and the message was someone going, right, okay, I'm gonna be at work until this time. Make sure you take the baby to mum's. And the response they sent to this random number was, I thought the baby was with you. And the reply was, you what? That's evil. Making someone believe that they'd not made the right arrangements with their child. That's watching the world burn to a whole new level. That's being the ultimate dick. No doubt they got followed up with a phone call screaming at them, and then they went, I don't know who you are, you've got the wrong number. But speaking of evil, I one time was walking to college and I got approached by a member of the religious body, the Jehovah's Witnesses, who are notorious for sticking the foot in your door and preaching about, you know, the good book and everything else. And I was just literally on my way to college, bag on my shoulder, getting ready to do some studying. And this guy just says to me, offers me like a pamphlet, and goes, allow me to give you this little pamphlet all about protecting yourself from evil. Now, I'd been playing a video game called Gex 3D, Enter the Gecko, and I decided that it was the perfect time to deploy a line that I'd heard in that game. And I just went, unless it's a map that helps me escape from the Inland Revenue headquarters, it's of no use to me, because I can't think of anywhere more evil than the Inland Revenue. Their look of confusion followed by disgust at my blasphemy is something I wish I could have captured, but camera phones weren't a thing back in the time this happened, unfortunately, and I didn't carry a disposable camera around with me either. We are very deep into the final stretch here, people. We should have only one more pit stop. It'll be our 5th, which is ridiculous because the computers would stop in so many times it's almost like it's gone out of fashion, and we will be winning by a very, very long way. We've probably got another, I'd say about another 20 minutes maybe left to run. And this race has been an absolute canter because the AI have been absolutely useless. The AI have been so bad, it's unbelievable. I've just noticed that the fastest lap is bang on 25.5. I don't want to set a faster lap now because I'm not seeing an exact 1/10 lap time as my best lap time at all, I don't think. Oh, there they go, they're into the pits again. Because of course they've gone into the pits again. Well, we've not beaten the best lap time, so that's good. We've got 27 laps to go, people. Yes, here we go! We just split the atom then, in the way we drove. So yeah, this has been a rather relaxing race, hasn't it, people? We've not been troubled at all. We had the initial first few laps, they went into the pits, and I'm like, how much longer can I go? Oh, much longer. Right, okay, see you next week, people, bye. Yeah, very strange. Very interesting. As you can see, we are so far in front now that it's not even funny. Well, it is funny, but for all the wrong reasons. I reckon another 5 laps and then we will be into the pits for the final time. And we are literally dominating. No other word for it. This has been sheer domination. They've had absolutely no chance. Not fun. Work phone call. Fingers crossed it's over quickly. Who knows, the race might be over by the time you're done. One more lap and then we'll pit for the final time. Yeah, as I say, it's been relatively straightforward so far. We've got another 13 races in this series to go after this. So get comfortable, people. There will be plenty more streams like this to come. And the question is, will the computer actually put up a fight at any of these races? Or are they doomed to be dominated forever? Let's find out. Should easily have enough fuel now to make it to the end without having to splash and dash. So that should be our final stop. We should be well clear, thanks to extraordinarily simple inputs. Oh look, they've gone into the pits literally 1 lap after me. That's hilarious. Bye. Oh, that didn't work very well, did it? Got away with it, but didn't work very well. Oh yeah. We are fast. Oh, we broke our lap record. The exact lap time has gone, people. We're now taking nearly 4/100ths of a second off it. Oh, the exact time has come to an end. Literally 9 more laps and then we are done. We could be on for a 1 hour race here, people. 300 kilometers in 1 hour. What an average speed. But we're not done yet. We're not made it yet. We're not at the end. We are A-specking our way towards glory. Another mid-25s lap. We are fast. So, when is the computer going to go into the pits again? In fact, there we go, people. There's a game for you quickly. On what lap do you reckon the computer are going to pit for the final time? Are they going to pit at all? What number? You go from 121 onwards to the end. See if anyone's quick enough on the draw. Axel says 1, 2, 3. Yeah, pretty good symmetry there, must be said. Avian's going a bit longer, 124. Do we have any different deals? Any different options, people? Well, there's a chance it could be either one of you. The two cars in front have not gone in yet. Nerves are going to be shredding in the chat now. Is it going to be Exetel? Is it going to be Avian? Is it going to be any of them? Now bear in mind, it's not my... I'm going by my lap rather than their lap, because obviously they're not on the same lap as me, because I've lapped them that many times. So it's not quite an accurate guess, this, but we'll still do it anyway. So it's not Exetel's guess. Is it going to be Avian's? Are they going to pit this lap? Are we going to see them pit for the final time on our 124th lap? No, they've stayed out. They've stuck it out. They've refused to board for the pits. They've refused to go in for you both, unfortunately. Oh wait, no, they're in. 125. They went in on lap 125. You were a lap too early, Avian. They went in on lap 125 for us. That's when they went in. You were so close, but not close enough. So now I'm going to lap them one more time because I can. We're on to the final lap, people. We're going to finish this race in less than an hour. That's amazing. We've absolutely caned this race. We have absolutely destroyed it, purely because our tyre wear was good enough to only need 5 stops. We come close and we take the checkered flag. So the question is, how far behind me did they finish? 9 laps. 9 laps behind. Wow. That is a pasting. They have been ground into dust. And interestingly, I've now got at least one race win in my pocket. Over the field. I am over a race win in front. And it's close battle for second place at the moment. Anyone could take it at this point in the series. But there's another 13 races to go. And the question is, just how close can they possibly come? How early can we wrap up the title? That is the question. We just earned 100,000 credits because, of course, we need those. So what we'll do now is quickly back out. And we will be able to carry on after we have been able to save our game. Yes, that's what we're going to be doing here. So we've saved our game. That's now secure. And what we'll do very quickly is we're going to go on to the third race. We're not going to start the race as such. But what we are going to do is we're going to qualify. Oh, we're at New York. We've gone to New York, New York. Start spreading news. I'm racing today, or something like that, I don't know. Yeah, so here we are. We've got a bit Frank Sinatra here. We're going into the Big Apple, and we're driving in very fast cars. So I'm interested in how this car's going to handle this circuit. So we'll do a bit of a test session, just so we give ourselves an idea of what kind of lap time we can get from this car, and how fast we can push it. This is a proper street circuit, people. Oh, understeer that. Massive understeer. Oh God, wow. Serious understeer on this circuit. Once the tyres are warmed up, it might be a bit better, but wow. It's like, oh, that is a lot of understeer. Oh, that is a lot of understeer there. See, that's understeer. Look how far away from the apex I was. I couldn't get near it. So we have a horrendously understeery car here. That could be fun in the race. A lot of understeer. Oh God, the Baku. Well, technically the Baku circuit is in GT4. The Seoul circuit is pretty much the prototype for it. Take the map for the Seoul circuit in South Korea and put it next to the one for Baku. Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me I'm wrong. Shaped like a gun with a long handle. Well, that makes sense for America, doesn't it? Exeter. Out here, like the Second Amendment and the gun. Even though we are in New York rather than Texas. I love the amount of construction that's going on in the back of New York here. Well, lap times here are going to be quite low. We're currently on for a 1:16, maybe 1:17. 1:16.9. Let's see if we can go any quicker. We can't go any quicker looking like that, I'll tell you that for free. So this is very much the wind down. We're going to do a very quick practice session here because we don't have time to start this race, I can tell you that for free. And we will be back to play this game next week. On the next stream though, we will be going back to Tokyo for Shin Megami Tensei 4. And then after that, we will be on to Alice Madness Returns once again. As we take on the Chinese and Japanese inspired level with the dress that Exetale and Avian fell in love with, even though it's not as good as the underwater one. So you get a bit of an eye on tyre wear as well, because there's 74 laps for this race, so this could be a tough race on tyre wear potentially. As I say, this track feels very low grip. The car's sliding a lot. It's not really getting into the corners very well. It's very, as I say, it's a very odd driving sensation. It doesn't quite feel right. So you can hear the tyres there and how they're drifting on top of the circuit rather than digging in. So it's not a circuit that's rubbered up, unfortunately. So it's going to be quite a difficult race, this one. It's going to be quite annoying. But that's okay, because we need a bit of challenge after what happened to Super Speedway. Super Speedway was a little too easy. The thing is, we're still not actually having anyone take our time away from us, so we're showing like we're going to potentially be on pole position again, which is a good thing. So this could be an interesting race for F1 if they ever decide to make this layout. A 1:15.9, that's a bit more like it, so we know the kind of pace we can do in this car at least, that's good. So, with that in mind, what we will do in a second is we'll just finish this lap off, this one final lap. Or maybe we won't, because I've just made a massive mistake. Let's take a quick look, see how our kind of time is. So I'm loving all the advertising that's somehow got past all the license holders on this game, like McDonald's and Kodak and JVC and Virgin, Infinity and all the others. It's brilliant. Oh, that was poor. Clipped the inside and the car took off. So yes, the lap times are pretty consistent, so we know that much at least. This is pretty much a test session. Give us an idea of what kind of lap time we can get, what kind of tyre wear we're getting. This is how they do it in F1. They like to run the sessions, experiment with setups, do all kinds of things, and then go racing. I don't think we're going to need to do too much adaptive setup to this series based on the way the AI's performed at the first two. But who knows, they might have circuits they do better at, I don't know. That felt nice. Yes, so we're going to complete this lap, see if we can possibly improve our time, or if a 1:15.9 is the best we're going to get. And if it is, that's fine. At least it gives us a par time to aim for in the race. Yay, we went faster, that's good. We did a 1:15.7, that's amazing. Just one final thing I want to talk about briefly is at Play Expo, I found the replacement controller. On the last stream I was saying how the inputs weren't always brilliant for the controller I had, so I found the replacement. I picked that up at Play Expo, and so far, as you can tell by the stream, it's been running relatively okay. So fingers crossed, we're going to be able to keep that there. So what we're going to do now is we should, with any luck, if I quickly go back here, we will have our game saved. And with any luck, we will have kept our position in the practice. If we haven't, then I'll have to do it on the next stream, which will be quite annoying. It would be quite annoying. Yes, look at that. It doesn't save your grid position. How ridiculous is that? How silly. It won't save your grid position. Pathetic. Well, I guess on that crushing disappointment that we are going to qualify again, that is the first two events of the Formula Gran Turismo in the can, and we will be back for more Gran Turismo next week. But for now, you're going to be able to catch me on Thursday evening at 8 PM BST when I come back to play more of Shin Megami Tensei 4. We are going to be going further into Tokyo and hopefully uncovering more of the mysteries of the demon apocalyptic world. Then after that, on the Saturday evening, we should be, I say should because I need to check what's going on the calendar, we should be going back to Wonderland for Alice Madness Returns. But until then, thank you all very, very much for watching. And computer, your tyre wear is shocking.